Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. Getting close to Christmas time, and I'm sure some of you are going to be getting some new Hot Wheels and you're going to be wanting to create some interesting decals when you uh, complete those cars and send them into a race. And if you're not real familiar with decals, or you just want maybe a little heads up on some of the things that I do, um, not that I'm the best by any means, but I do okay. Um, I'd be happy to show you here in a few minutes exactly the approach that I take to making decals. Um, so decals really basically start off as, in my mind, as a blank sheet of paper, and I'm just going to go ahead and start a new one. Okay, so I start off with a new blank sheet of paper, and then this is Microsoft Paint 3D. Says Paint 3D won't be available in the Microsoft Store or receive future updates starting November 4th. Yeah, it's already passed, but anyways, they're basically abandoning Paint 3D because it's cheap and easy, and nobody buys it because it comes for free. But anyways, so I'll be looking to update to something here, but most Microsoft products are the same. There's no secret to them. Um, so what I do is I just open up a blank sheet, and then I go to my web browser and I search for images for the design that I want to make. So, like, this is a design of a chess pawn, which I used in one of my um, on my recent cars, the Mungo Jeep. Um, it came as a gold knight, but I said, well, I don't need a gold knight because I'm not that good. So I just figured I'd enter in, find me some black pawn. So I found a black pawn. Basically, you can view the file, bring it full scale, and then if you search down, you can copy the image, and then on your blank page on Microsoft 3D, you can just paste it in. Simple as that. So now you've got an image, right? You can manipulate the image any way you want to. Make it as big or small as you need, and then bring in as many other images as you want from any design, any search, anything you see. You can snap in and grab a picture and cut it and paste it. Simple. Um, so again, I use this as a black pawn. Let's see, on the car I'm working on now, I was looking for some typical decal sheets like you might see on a rally car, and I found this particular decal set. So I did the same thing. I copied the image and then I pasted it onto my canvas, and then I could play with it as much as I want to. Generally, I don't need that many across, so I just select a few. Let's say I'm gonna put them in about, eh, where does it look like a nice clean cut, give or take right there. So then I grab a piece that I want, grab it out, blow it up a little bit, and I can cut off the little bits and pieces of it. Um, and in reality, you don't have to get crazy about them because at this size, nobody, at the size for 1/64th, nobody's going to see any mill functions. Okay, so then basically I play with that to get the size I want. You can copy them and then repaste it if you need to. Because you got two sides of the car, left and right. Now you've got two decals of sponsor sheets, for one for the left side, one for the right side. So that's basically how I run that. Again, most of the images that I play with, that I find, I just go on search engine and find something that fits. I don't spend a lot of time drawing, that Paint 3D is not the greatest graphic program. You can't really spend a lot of time drawing. I just can't. Maybe you guys have more skill than I, but I can't spend a lot of time drawing stuff out. I just basically cut and paste, and I can modify it if I feel the need. I don't really like that particular thing. You can always just uh, you know flood it out, make it look a little different, so you end up with a little marble effect. Some other changes you can paste or flood it in different colors. You just have to have a connected design. You can always undo your problems. So let me open up the one I've been working on recently. Yeah, I don't want to say that. So recently I did this design for a cougar. You find them, cougar, and open. So basically all of these designs that I found online, with the exception of my text for my name, which is on this car, is Slick Kitty instead of Slick Fitty. So this is a Slick Kitty. You can see over here, these are the two sets of sponsor sheets that I made, plus a couple of bigger ones. I created this Mercury out of a Mercury logo, and then I just drew some lines, and then there's some numbers that I created off of fonts. So, uh, so if you're going to do a lot of decals, you're going to need different fonts for your graphics. So, not all of your numbers are going to look the same. You're going to want them to look a little different. So, if you go to text, and you can see fonts, I've got. I'm sorry. Over here, I've got 100 different fonts, from everything from Japanese kanji characters all the way to graffiti and stencils and hollow uh, fill. Yeah, anyways, you'll find a bazillion of them. So if you go on the internet web browser and you type in free fonts, there's so many sites. This one's 1001 free fonts. Yeah, so there you go. So there's as many fonts as you can possibly stand to see. Grab as many as you want. That will do the trick for you, and you'll end up just having, at the end, you'll just have a bunch of different fonts that you can use for just about anything you want. There's 1,000 fonts on this one page, so no issues. You'll find exactly what you're looking for. You don't ever have to try to create that. So, anyways, once you've got your favorite fonts downloaded in onto your Windows application, and again, this is all Windows based, you're going to be able to access them through text, 2D text on your app here. So, anyways, I've created these. I've manipulated some files to make this particular thing, this graphic right here, the cougar graphic. And then the next thing you're going to say is, well, how do I know what size? Yeah, that's always an issue. So um, because I've been doing this for quite a while, I know that if I fill this page in this corner with a certain size graphic, I can go ahead and select print. I select a 2D print since it's a 2D graphic. And then I can bring it into the print preview. And when I see it here, I know, ooh, that's a little big, because there's the whole entire page, 8.5 by 11 sheet. There's the entire page. So I know that if I create it this size, give or take, instead of saying fit the page, I reduce it in size to something that looks like this, then I know that I will be in the ballpark for the size I need to put on a die-cast car. So what I would do then is I would print a test page, which I can show you here, a test page of the graphics, and then I will measure it with a ruler, and then I'll go measure that against the car and see, does that fit on the car in the spot that I want. So in that instance it didn't, so I had to redo it, and then I had printed it like this so that I can ensure that they fit where I wanted them to. So instead of making 100 copies of this, and I've seen some guys make 100 decals on one 8.5 by 11 sheet and make 10 different sheets of 10 different decals. To me, that seems highly wasteful. If you're doing that, you're going to be stuck with a pile of decals that you may or may not want to use for every car. And some guys actually, I don't know, some guys do use the same decals on every single car, and that's perfectly fine. That's not what I want to do. I prefer to make every car a little unique, and that way I also get to practice my decal work and that kind of thing. So so once you get the decal printed, and I always print my colored decals in black and white because the color ink goes away fast, but the black and white ink, or the black ink, lasts longer. So I always test print first in black, and then I've got two different kinds of decal paper that I got from Amazon. One's a clear and one's a water slide white. I am just not a fan of the water slide white decal. White paper is heavy, and the decal paper is heavy. It's not nice and light like the translucent or the transparent ones are. So I tend to print almost exclusively in transparent. So I have a piece of transparent here, and what I'll do is I will take this design and I will cut a piece out that fits over that design, and I will tape top and bottom. I'll tape it at the top and I'll tape it at the bottom, just the piece that fits this. I'm not printing a whole entire page. I'm not going to waste an entire page of relatively pricey decal paper. Not really in the scheme of things, but why be wasteful? Just try to, I try to conserve my hobby bucks as best I can. So I cut this out, I tape it on here, I stick it in the printer, and then out comes the decal sheet printed on my little piece of paper. Then I can take this little piece of paper and spritz it with a little clear lacquer and cover just that little piece of paper, and in a couple of hours I've got a completely custom set of decals for a particular car. And I save the file, obviously, so that in the future, if I want to reuse that particular file, I just open it up, pop it, and I can change the names really quickly. If I want to change Slick Kitty to Cooter Smith, which is one of the other ones that I use, or I don't like that Cougar, or I want a different Stupid Fish Racing logo or a different numbers, I can just massage it real quick and make those changes. And then, because I know that size fits on my car, I can generally print a test print, go measure it real quick, and make sure it fits, and then off I go. So it makes it relatively simple. So so pretty much that's it as far as how to create them. And obviously putting them on the car is a different thing, and it has a little bit to it. It's not super complicated by any means, but I'll make a quick video on that, and that way you'll have everything that I do, and you can make use of it as you will, whatever purpose you might have. Feel free to use whatever you find interesting there. And if you find some other techniques that work better, well, go ahead and leave a comment down there. I'm always willing to learn from other folks that have interesting and unusual ideas about all kinds of things. So yeah, please feel free to leave a comment, and Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.